So, Wimbledon live commentaries, and this one, Amanda Anisimova, Dalma Galfi. Dalma Galfi with a break in the first set, and serving with a break, 15-all. Dalma Galfi just won a point, so 30-15. Dalma Galfi with a serve to the centre, a bit on it, and it's an ace. So 40-15. Ace to the centre served from Dalma Galfi. Dalma Galfi with a serve to the centre, just hits net. So second serve for Dalma Galfi on this point. Dalma Galfi with a serve to the centre, just hits the net. So 40-30. So 40-30. Dalma Galfi with a serve, a bit on it, and Amanda Anisimova's backhand is just Amanda Anisimova's backhand to the left is just out after a bit on the serve from Dalma Galfi. So Dalma Galfi holds serve to maintain the break in the first set of this one. Amanda Anisimova serving. Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre of the box, just out. So second serve, Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre of the box, just out. So love 15. Amanda Anisimova just won a point, so 15-all. Forehand winners from shots and forehand winners from shots in the match. For the two players a bit. Amanda Anisimova serve just hits the net. So second serve, Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre of the box, Dalma Galfi forehand return, but may have hit the top in there a bit, so that may be a let serve. So another serve also for Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a wide serve, just hits the net, so 15-30. Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre bit on it, Dalma Galfi backhand return, maybe at the top in there a bit, so that may be a let serve. So Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre, and Dalma Galfi backhand return to the centre, just out. Anisimova. So backhand return to the centre from Dalma after a bit on the central serve. Anisimova. So 40-30. Amanda Anisimova serve. Down McGalfy returns, and then Amanda Anisimova strikes forehand to the right, just hits the net. So deuce. So still in this Amanda Anisimova service game. Amanda Anisimova with a wide serve down McGalfy forehand right, and Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand to left, but just out. So break point down McGalfy for maybe potentially 2 breaks in the first set of this one. So Amanda Anisimova with a serve, a centre wide on it, down McGalfy returns, and Amanda Anisimova strikes forehand to the right, a bit on it, and then down McGalfy with a forehand to the right, just hits the net. After a bit on the forehand struck to the right from Amanda Anisimova to save that break point, a bit on the forehand struck to the right. Amanda Anisimova with a wide serve on it, down McGalfy returning. Amanda Anisimova forehand to the left, struck to the left with a bit on it, but just out, and another break point for down McGalfy. So Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre, a bit on it, down McGalfy, forehand block return centre, and Amanda Anisimova strikes forehand to left with a bit on it, and it's a winner to save that break point. Amanda Anisimova. Amanda. Amanda Anisimova just won a point, so a point for Amanda Anisimova to potentially hold this service game. Amanda Anisimova with a centre wide serve on it, down McGalfy with a backhand return to. So Amanda Anisimova holds that service game. Bit on the serve, and then down McGalfy's backhand return to the centre just out. But it's down McGalfy with the break in the first set. So down McGalfy serving a break. McGalfy was a bit on it. Amanda Anisimova forehand return. Down McGalfy strikes a backhand to left for a bit on it. Amanda Anisimova returns, and down McGalfy at the net with a forehand drive volley to the left, but just hits the net. So love 15. Down McGalfy with a serve. Down McGalfy centre of the box serve, and then backhand Amanda Anisimova. Amalfi forehand to left. Down Amalfi with a central serve. Amanda Nismo strikes backhand to right bill on it. Down Amalfi turns to Amanda Nismo further forward, strikes the backhand to right bill on it. Down Amalfi backhand slice turns central bill on it. Then forehand to forehand, and Amanda Nismo strikes forehand to right bill on it. Down Amalfi slice shot return, and Amanda Nismo further forward strikes a forehand to the left, but just out. So 15-30. Down Amalfi with a serve. Century building it. Amanda Nismo returns, and then down Amalfi with a backhand, but just hits the net after Amanda Nissimova returned the down Amalfi serve. So 15-40 and 2 break points for Amanda Nissimova. Point playing, and down Amalfi backhand. Amanda Nissimova there with backhand volley shot, and then down Amalfi onto it with a forehand slice, just hits the net. So Amanda Nissimova with a break on return, and it's on serve in the first set at 3-all. So 3-all on serve in the first set of this one. Amanda Nissimova with a serve, wide serve, building it down Amalfi, forehand block return, just hits the net after a bit on the wide serve from Amanda Nissimova. So 15-love. Amanda Nissimova with a central serve bit on it, and down Amalfi's return just out. So 30-love. Amanda Nissimova with a wide serve just out. So second serve for Amanda Nissimova on this point. Amanda Nissimova So Amanda Nissimova with a serve, central box building and backhand to backhand, and the backhand from Amanda Nissimova struck to the left just out. Amanda Nissimova with a serve, and then backhand bit on it from down Amalfi on the return, then Amanda Nissimova striking a backhand to the left just out. So 30-all. Amanda Nissimova with a wide serve, building it down Amalfi forehand return to the centre just out after a bit on the wide serve from Amanda Nissimova. So 40-30 and a point to potentially hold this service game. Amanda Nissimova with a serve, central serve ability. Forehand block turn down Amalfi. Amanda Nissimova then with a forehand, and down Amalfi strikes a So McAlfee serving the first set. Down McAlfee with a serve, wide serve, just hits the net. So second serve, down McAlfee on this point. Down McAlfee with a central box there. Amanda Nissimova strikes a forehand to the left on the return, a bit on it, and then down McAlfee with a shot to the left just out after a bit on the return, struck from Amanda Nissimova. So love 15. Down McAlfee with a serve to the centre of the box with a bit on it, and then Amanda Nissimova backhand return to the right out after a bit on the centre of the box serve from down McAlfee. So 15 all. Down McAlfee with a wide serve behind it. Amanda Nissimova for one block return centre, and down McAlfee further forward strikes a forehand to the right with a bit on it, and it's just out. So 15-30. So point playing, down McAlfee backhand to the centre of Bill on it. Amanda Nissimova strikes backhand to right, Bill and down McAlfee forehand to right. Amanda Nissimova strikes backhand to the left with Bill on it. Down McAlfee slice shot return. Amanda Nissimova then strikes forehand to right, Bill on it. And then down McAlfee, bit of forehand slice to ball, but Amanda Nissimova with a forehand struck to the right with a bit on it. So 15-40 and 2 break points for Amanda Nissimova. Down McAlfee with a central serve. Maybe let or maybe just out. Another 1 to 2 serves or so in this point for down McAlfee. Down McAlfee with a central serve behind Amanda Nissimova backhand return just on it, and down McAlfee further forward backhand slice and net down McAlfee, but then Amanda Nissimova with a forehand lob to the left with a bit on it, and it's a winner with it. And Amanda Nissimova with the break in the first set. So Amanda Nissimova serving the next game with a break in the first set. Amanda Nissimova with a wide serve bit on it, and down McAlfee, a bit of forehand to ball, but a bit on the wide serve from Amanda Nissimova. So 15 love. Amanda Nissimova with a second serve, down McAlfee returns and forehand to forehand, and then down McAlfee strikes a forehand to the right, and it's just out. So 30 love. Amanda Nissimova with a wide serve, just hits net. So second serve for Amanda Nissimova on this point. Amanda Nissimova with a serve, wide serve on it, down McAlfee for one block return to the left, just out after a bit on the wide serve from Amanda Nissimova. So 40 love and 3 set points for Amanda Nissimova. Amanda Nissimova with a wide serve on it, down McAlfee back up turn slow net, and then Amanda Nissimova further forward strikes the backhand to the right, and then down McAlfee with a forehand short angle passing shot to the left, just out. Game and first set. Amanda Nissimova with a break, 6-3, First set, Amanda Anisimova, and 1 set to love to Amanda Anisimova in this one. So, second set. Dal McGalfy serving. It's love 15. Amanda Anisimova just 1 point, but then Dal McGalfy with a wide serve a bit on it. Amanda Anisimova maybe a bit of backhand to ball, but a bit on the wide serve from Dal McGalfy. So 15-all. Dal McGalfy with a central serve and Amanda Anisimova backhand return out after a bit on the central serve from Dal McGalfy. So 30-15. Dal McGalfy just 1 point, so 40-15. Dal McGalfy with a serve to centre Bellnet, Amanda Anisimova backhand return, backhand to backhand, Amanda Anisimova forehand to left, and Dal McGalfy then strikes a forehand to the left, just hits the net, so 40-30. Dal McGalfy with a central serve, Amanda Anisimova forehand return, Dal McGalfy backhand to centre Bellnet, and Amanda Anisimova forehand to right, and Dal McGalfy backhand to left, Amanda Anisimova backhand to right, and then Dal McGalfy backhand to right, Bellnet, and Amanda Anisimova forehand return to the centre, just out. So Dal McGalfy holds serve in the first game of the second set. Mm-hmm. So Amanda Anisimova with a serve, wide serve. Down McGalf returns Amanda Anisimova forward, hits a forehand, and then down McGalf returns Amanda Anisimova volley, and then down McGalf with a forehand a bit after that. But then Amanda Anisimova and then a backhand drive volley to the left, and it's a winner. So 15 love. Yeah, 15 love. Amanda Anisimova with a serve, wide serve with a bit on it, and that may be an ace. Bit on that wide serve, 30 love. Amanda Anisimova with a serve. May have hit the top in there a bit, another 1-2 serves or so for Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a serve. Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre, a bit on it, down McGalfy, backhand turn, Amanda Anisimova strikes right, bit on it, down McGalfy, slice turn, Amanda Anisimova further forward, front slice left, and backhand slice right from down McGalfy, and backhand slice left, bit on it from Amanda Anisimova, just out, so 30-15. Amanda Anisimova with a serve, centre wide bit on it, down McGalfy, backhand turn, forehand strikes the right bit from Amanda Anisimova. Then a forehand slice return from down McGalfy, but then Amanda Anisimova by the net strikes a backhand to the left, and it's a winner. So 40-15. Amanda Anisimova with a serve, centre to wide, just hit the net. So second serve Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre, a bit on it, and down McGalfy, a backhand return out after a bit on the central serve for Amanda Anisimova. So Amanda Anisimova holds that service game. So on serve at the start of the second set of this one. So down McGalfy serving the next game in this second set. Down McGalfy with a serve to the centre, Bennett, Amanda Anisimova backhand return, and down McGalfy and strikes right to the left, just out, so love 15. Down McGalfy with a serve to the centre of the box, and then Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand return to right Bennett, and down McGalfy forehand to left, and Amanda Anisimova further forward strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. So love 30. Down McGalfy with a wide serve, just out. So second serve down McGalfy on this point. Down McGalfy with a central serve, Amanda Anisimova backhand returns to the right, and down McGalfy forehand to left, and Amanda Anisimova strikes, so forehand to the left, just hits the net. So 15-30. Down McGalfy with a central serve with a bit on it, then Amanda Anisimova forehand returns to the centre, just out, so 30 all. Down McGalfy with a Centre to wide serve, Amanda Anisimova, the forehand return, just out. After a bit on the serve from Dal McAlfee, so 40-30. Dal McAlfee with a serve to the centre, building it. Amanda Anisimova from 10 centre, and Dal McAlfee from drop shots to the right. Amanda Anisimova onto it, backhand slice, and Bennett the net. And then Dal McAlfee with backhand slice after that just hits the net. So juice, so still in this Dal McAlfee service game then. So Dal McAlfee with a serve centre to wide, and Amanda Anisimova strikes a forehand returns left, and Dal McAlfee backhand slice centre. Amanda Anisimova then strikes a backhand to right a bit on it, and then Dal McAlfee with a forehand shot return to the right out after a bit on the shot, struck to the right from Amanda Anisimova, and break point Amanda Anisimova for potentially maybe a break in the second set of this one. Dal McAlfee with a serve to the centre of building it. Amanda Anisimova forehand return. Dal McAlfee forward strikes forehand to the right, and then Amanda Anisimova with a backhand lob return a bit on it, but just out. So break point saved for Dal McAlfee. Dal McAlfee with a serve to the centre, just hits net. So second serve Dal McAlfee on this point. Dal McAlfee with a centre of the box there. Amanda Anisimova strikes backhand to left building. Dal McAlfee slice return, and Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand to right with a bit on it, but just out. So a point for Amanda Galfie to potentially hold this service game and have the start of this second set on serve. Dal McAlfee with a centre of the box serve just out. So second serve Dal McAlfee on this point. Dal McAlfee with a central serve, then forehand to forehand, and Dal McAlfee's forehand to the right is just out after a bit on the forehand return struck to the centre from Amanda Anisimova, so juice, so still in this Dal McAlfee service game then. Dal McAlfee with a central serve, Amanda Anisimova backhand return to the right just out after a bit on the central serve from Dal McAlfee, so Dal McAlfee with an add point to potentially hold this service game maybe and have the start of this second set on serve. Dal McAlfee with a centre of the box serve, Amanda Anisimova backhand return to the centre, then forehand to forehand. Amanda Anisimova's forehand to right building, Dal McAlfee forehand serve, and then Amanda Anisimova strikes a forehand to the left with a bit on it, and it's a winner. So juice. So Dal McAlfee with a serve centre to wide, and then Amanda Anisimova strikes forehand return to the centre, just out. So add point for Dal McAlfee then. Dal McAlfee with a serve to the centre of the box. Amanda Anisimova backhand return to the centre, and Dal McAlfee forehand to right, and Amanda Anisimova strikes backhand to left Bennett. Dal McAlfee backhand slice return, and then backhands to backhands with a bit on them, and then Amanda Anisimova backhand to right with a bit on it. Dal McAlfee forehand to right with a bit on it. Then backhand Amanda Anisimova with a bit on it. Dal McAlfee backhand slice turn. Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand to left bit on it. Dal McAlfee backhand slice turn centre. Then Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand to the right with a bit on it. And then Dal McAlfee with a forehand return shot just hits the net after a bit on the backhand struck to the right from Amanda Anisimova. So juice. Down McGalfy with a wide serve, Billnet. Amanda Nisimova forehand return just out after a bit of the wide serve from Down McGalfy. So add point for Down McGalfy to potentially hold this service game, maybe. Down McGalfy with a central serve just out. So second serve, Down McGalfy on this point. Down McGalfy with a serve to the centre box, and Amanda Nisimova strikes a backhand return to the left just out. So Down McGalfy holds that service game. So on serve at the start of the second set of this one. So Amanda Anisimova serving. Amanda Anisimova with a wide serve just out. So second serve, Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a serve. Down McGalfy turns a bit on it and backhand to backhand. And Amanda Anisimova strikes backhand to centre bit on it, and Down McGalfy front to left to bit on it. And Amanda Anisimova backhand and then forehand to forehand. And Amanda Anisimova's forehand to the right just out. So love 15. Amanda Anisimova with a wide serve just out. So second serve for Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a serve. Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre of Billnet. Down McGalfy forehand return to the left of Billnet. Then Amanda Anisimova strikes it back onto right Billnet. Down McGalfy turns the shot to centre. Amanda Anisimova backhand. Down McGalfy forehand to the left of Billnet and backhand to backhand. And backhand Amanda Anisimova and backhand drop shot to right from Down McGalfy. Amanda Anisimova onto it shot. And Down McGalfy then with a forehand shot. And it's a winner. So love 30. Amanda Anisimova with a wide serve, Billnet. Down McGalfy block return, and Amanda Anisimova forward strikes one to the right by the net, and then Down McGalfy with a backhand passing shot to the left just out. So 15-30. Amanda Anisimova with a Central serve out, so second serve Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre, maybe just out on that second serve. It is, so 15-40 and 2 break points for Dal McAlfee in this second set. So Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre of Billnet, Dal McAlfee backhand return out after a bit on the central serve from Amanda Anisimova, so 30-40. Amanda Anisimova with a serve centre of the box, then backhand to backhand, and Dal McAlfee backhand slice, and then to the left, then Amanda Anisimova strikes backhand to the left beyond it, and Dal McAlfee forehand to the left. And then Amanda Anisimova strikes a bit of an angle backhand to the right with a bit on it, and it's a winner. So Amanda Anisimova saves 2 break points. So deuce, Amanda Anisimova with a central serve behind it. Dal McAlfee backhand turn centre behind it, and Amanda Anisimova backhand centre. Then forehand, Dal McAlfee to the right, and Amanda Anisimova forehand slice return, and then Dal McAlfee strikes a forehand to the left just out. So an add point for Amanda Anisimova to potentially hold this service game, having saved 2 break points. Amanda Anisimova with a wide serve, maybe just out. Another serve also then for Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a centre of the box serve, Dal McAlfee backhand return to the centre just out. So Amanda Anisimova holds that service game, having saved 2 break points. So 2 all on serve in the second set. So Dal McAlfee serving. Dal McAlfee with a wide serve, and then Amanda Anisimova forehand return strike with a bit on it, and Dal McAlfee shot a bit on it, and backhand to backhand. And then Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand to the left with a bit on it, and Dal McAlfee a bit of forehand to ball, but a bit on the backhand struck to the left for Amanda Anisimova. So love 15. So point playing, Amanda Anisimova forehand slice to the right net, and Dal McAlfee returns to Amanda Anisimova net, a forehand volley to the left, just hits the net. So 15 all. Well, Amanda Anisimova to the net, but Dal McAlfee won the point. So 15 all. Dal McAlfee with a central serve in it, and then Amanda Anisimova backhand return to the centre just out. After a bit on the central serve from Dal McAlfee. And the return just out, so 30-15. Dal McAlfee down with the central serve. Amanda Anisimova turns central bill, and Dal McAlfee shot, and Amanda Anisimova then with a backhand. Dal McAlfee shot, and Amanda Anisimova then strikes right to left bill, and Dal McAlfee slow shot return central bill on it. with a bit on it rather, and then Amanda Anisimova strikes a forehand to the right with a bit on it, and then Dal McAlfee will return just out. So 30 all. So 30 all. So McAlfee with a wide serve just hits net, so second serve for Dal McAlfee on this point. Dal McAlfee with a centre to wide serve. Amanda Anisimova strikes for a return bit on it, and then Dal McAlfee a backhand slice return just hits the net after a bit on the forehand return struck for Amanda Anisimova. So 30-40 and a break for Amanda Anisimova. Dal McAlfee with a centre of the box serve, and then Amanda Anisimova backhand return to the centre, and Dal McAlfee forehand to the centre, a bit on it. Then Amanda Anisimova returns a shot since, and Dal McAlfee forehand to left a bit on it, and then Amanda Anisimova backhand return just hits the net after a bit on the forehand struck from Dal McAlfee. So Dal McAlfee saves break point. So Dal McAlfee with a serve, maybe just out. So another serve also for Dal McAlfee on this point. Dal McAlfee with a serve, Amanda Anisimova return. Dal McAlfee with shots left behind it, and backhand Amanda Anisimova to right behind it. Dal McAlfee backhand slice return, and Amanda Anisimova further forward strikes a backhand to the left, but just out. So add point for Dal McAlfee to potentially hold this service game, maybe, and still have his second set on serve potentially. So Dal McAlfee with a serve with a bit on it, and then Dal McAlfee holds that service game, so still on serve in the second set of this one. Well, Dal McAlfee with a bit on the central serve, and then Amanda Anisimova's forehand return to the right just out, as Dal McAlfee held that service game. So Amanda Anisimova serving, but it's Dal McAlfee that's just won a point of forehand. Short angle passing shots left with Amanda Anisimova net, so love 15. And point main, and Dal McAlfee further forward, backhand drop shot to the right, and the two players net, and Dal McAlfee with a side shot, and then Amanda Anisimova net, a forehand volley to the left, but just out. So love 30. So Amanda Anisimova just won a point, so 15-30. Amanda Anisimova with a serve, wide serve on it, down McGalfy, backhand block return, and Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand angle shot to the left. And down McGalfy turns Amanda Anisimova shot, and down McGalfy backhand slice, Amanda Anisimova then backhand to left to on it, and down McGalfy with a backhand return just hits the net, so 30 all. Amanda Anisimova just serve. So Amanda Anisimova just won a point to hold serve, so 3 all on serve in the second set of this one. So Tal McAlfee serving, on serve in the second set of this one. Tal McAlfee with a serve centre to wide, and then return bit from Amanda Anisimova, but then a backhand drop shot to the right from Dan McAlfey, a bit on it, and Amanda Anisimova onto it, but then Dan McAlfey then the forehand to the centre, and it's the winner. So 30 love. Dan McAlfee with a central serve bit on it, Amanda Anisimova return just over it, but then Dan McAlfey further forward, strikes a forehand to the right, and it's a winner. So 40 love. Dan McAlfee with a serve just hits the net. So second serve, Dan McAlfee on this point. Dan McAlfee with a centre of the box serve, and then backhand to backhand, and then Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand to right bit on it, and Dan McAlfee forehand to left, and Amanda Anisimova strikes forehand to the right bit on it. Dan McAlfee forehand to the right, and Amanda Anisimova strikes an angle backhand to the left with a bit on it, and it's a winner. So 40-15. So Dan McAlfee just held serve, and still on serve in the second set of this one. Well, the last point played, Dan McAlfee with a centre of the box serve, Amanda Anisimova forehand return, Dan McAlfee backhand, and then Amanda Anisimova forehand to the right just out for Dan McAlfee to hold that service game. So Amanda Anisimova serving next game, still on serve in the second set. So Amanda Anisimova with a serve just out. So Amanda Anisimova second. So 30 love. Amanda Anisimova serving. Still on the serve in this second set. And Amanda Anisimova with a serve with a wide serve just out. So second serve, Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a centre of the box serve and then down McGalphy forehand return centre Bellingham, and Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand to left Bellingham and down McGalphy returns, and Amanda Anisimova strikes forehand to right bit on it, and down McGalphy with a bit to ball but a bit on the forehand struck to the right from Amanda Anisimova. So 40 love. Amanda Anisimova with a serve wide serve, building it from Amanda Anisimova, backhand slice turn, building it from down McGalphy, but then Amanda Anisimova strikes a forehand to the right, and it's a winner. So 4-all on serve in the second set. So down McGalphy serving. First serve. Amanda Anisimova just won a point, so love 15. Down McGalphy. Down McGalphy with a wide serve bill on it. Amanda Anisimova backhand turn. Down McGalphy backhand drop shots left, and then Amanda Anisimova onto it strikes a backhand to left for bill on it, and down McGalphy returns. But then out and then Amanda Anisimova after that with an overhead smash, and it's a winner. So love 30. So love 30. So down McGalphy with a serve centre to wide a bit on it, and then Amanda Anisimova's forehand return to the right is just out after a bit on the serve from down McGalphy. So 15-30. Down McGalphy with a central serve just out, so second serve down McGalphy on this point. Down McGalphy with a serve with a wide serve, and it's an ace, so 30-all. So 30-40 and Amanda Anisimova with break point. Dan McAlfee just saved break point, so deuce. So deuce. Dan McAlfee with a serve to the centre of the bit on it. May have hit the top of their bit, so another serve or two or so on this point for Dan McAlfee still. Dan McAlfee with a serve. Dan McAlfee central serve bit on it. Amanda Anisimova backhand return out after a bit on the central serve from Dan McAlfee. So add point Dan McAlfee and a point to potentially hold the service game and serve the second set on serve, maybe potentially. Dan McAlfee with a central serve bit on it. Amanda Anisimova forehand return forehand. Dan McAlfee to central bit on it, and Amanda but the forehand from Dan McAlfee just out. So deuce. So still in this Dan McAlfee service game then. Dan McAlfee with a central serve bit on it, and Amanda Anisimova a bit of backhand to ball, but a bit on the central serve from Dan McAlfee. So point for Dan McAlfee to potentially hold this service game. Add point Dan McAlfee. Dan McAlfee with a serve. Wide serve bit on Amanda Anisimova block return, and Dan McAlfee by the net of a forehand to the left, and it's a winner to hold that service game. So still on serve in the second set of this one. So Amanda Anisimova with a Amanda Anisimova serving on serve still in the second set. Amanda Anisimova with a wide serve just hits the net. So second serve, Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre of the box, then Dan McAlfee strikes a backhand return to the left, just out. So 15 love. Amanda Anisimova with a wide serve, maybe just out, so another serve or so for Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a serve, and Dan McAlfee backhand return struck to the left with a bit on it, and just out, so 30 love. Amanda Anisimova with a serve. Amanda Anisimova with a Wide serve on it, down McAlfee for one block turn, and Amanda Nisimova for forward strikes one to left with a bit on it, and then net Amanda Nisimova, and down McAlfee, backhand return, just hits the net. After a bit on the forehand struck to left from Amanda Nisimova further forward, so 40 love. Amanda Nisimova with a serve to the centre of the box, down McAlfee for one block turn, further forward, Amanda Nisimova, forehand drop shot to left, just hits the net, so 40-15. Amanda Nisimova with a serve centrally with a bit on it, then down McAlfee strikes a backhand to right, bit on it. Amanda Nisimova turns and down McAlfee then with a backhand strikes right, then Amanda Nisimova with a backhand return just out, so 40-30. So Amanda Nisimova with a central of the box serve with a bit on it, and then down McAlfee a forehand return just hits the net after being on the central of the box serve from Amanda Nisimova. So 5-all on serve in the second set of this one. So down McAlfee serving. Down McAlfee with a central serve just out, so second serve for down McAlfee on this point. Down McAlfee with a serve to the centre of boxing. Amanda Nisimova strikes backhand serve for a bit, and then down McAlfee with a slice return after that, and then Amanda Nisimova a bit further forward strikes forehand to left, but just hits the net, so 15 love. Down McAlfee with a central serve, and it's an ace, so 30 love. Down McAlfee with a central serve, and Amanda Nisimova backhand return, down McAlfee forehand to right bit on it, and then backhand to backhand, and then Amanda Nisimova strikes a backhand to right bit on it, down McAlfee turns, and Amanda Nisimova further forward, strikes a forehand to the left, and it's the winner. So 30-15. Down McAlfee with a central serve, and Amanda Nisimova forehand return serve, and down McAlfee backhand drop shots right, and Amanda Nisimova onto it strikes a backhand to left and behind it, and down McAlfee turns, Amanda Nisimova forehand shot, and then the two players by net, and down McAlfee with a forehand shot to the right, and it's a winner. So 40-15. The two players by the net, and down McAlfee with a forehand slice shot to the right, and a winner with it. So down McAlfee with a serve, wide serve on it, Amanda Nisimova forehand block return just out after a bit on the wide serve from down McAlfee. So on serve still in the second set of this one. So Amanda Anisimova with a centre of the box serve. May have hit the top in there a bit, so another 1-2 serves also on this point for Amanda Anisimova. Amanda Anisimova with a Amanda Anisimova with a Amanda Anisimova with a serve to the centre of the box, and down McGalfy backhand turns to right a bit on it, and forehand to forehand. And down McGalfy's forehand to the right is just out, so 15-love. Amanda Anisimova with a central serve just out, so second serve for Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a central serve bit on it, and then a forehand return straight serve bit from down McGalfy. Amanda Anisimova shot and backhand slice to right bit from down McGalfy and into net, and then Amanda Anisimova strikes a forehand passing shot to the right, but just out, so 15-all. Down McGalfy, all net points won in this second set. For down McGalfy, Amanda Anisimova with a wide serve just out, so second serve for Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a central of the box serve just out, so 15-30. Amanda Anisimova with a centre to wide serve, down McGalfy backhand turn centre of belt and forehand to forehand, and then Amanda Anisimova backhand to the right and down McGalfy backhand slice return to the left out after a bit on the backhand struck to the right from Amanda Anisimova, so 30-all. Amanda Anisimova with a centre of the box serve and then down McGalfy forehand slice return and forehand and Amanda Anisimova backhand to right and down McGalfy backhand slice to right and Amanda Anisimova forehand to left and down McGalfy forehand to left. Then Amanda Anisimova backhand to right and down McGalfy then strikes the backhand to right bit on it. Amanda Anisimova then with a forehand return just hits the net after a bit on the backhand to the right from down McGalfy. So 30-40 and down McGalfy with set point. So Amanda Anisimova with a serve, wide serve, just hits the net. So second serve, Amanda Anisimova on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a centre of the box serve, and down McGalfy strikes a backhand to the right with a bit on it, and Amanda Anisimova's forehand shot is out after a backhand struck to the right on the return bit on it from down McGalfy. Game and second set, down McGalfy 7-5, and the match is level at 1-all. So this one level at 1 set all. Dan McAlfee serving at the start of the third and final set of this one. And Dan McAlfee just won a point, so 15-love. Third and final set in this one. Competitive match this one. Dan McAlfee with a wide serve and an ace, so 30-love. Dan McAlfee with a serve, wide serve, building it. Amanda Nissimova, forehand slice turn, but then Dan McAlfee further forward, strikes right to left for building. Amanda Nissimova returns with a lob with a bit on it, and Dan McAlfee with an overhead smash to the left out after a bit on the lob for Amanda Nissimova, so 30-15. Dan McAlfee with a wide serve with a bit on it and just out, so another serve or so for Dan McAlfee on this point. Dan McAlfee with a central serve bit on it. Amanda Nissimova for turn further forward. Dan McAlfee strikes right to the right bit on it, and then Amanda Nissimova a forehand to the left just out after Dan McAlfee further forward struck a forehand to the right with a bit on it, so 40-15. Dan McAlfee with a central serve just out, so second serve for Dan McAlfee on this point. Dan McAlfee with a wide serve, a bit on it, and then Amanda Nissimova for return just hits the net after a bit on the wide serve from Dan McAlfee. So the first game of the third and final set, Dan McAlfee holds serve. So Amanda Nissimova serving. So Amanda Nissimova with a wide serve with a bit on it, and maybe an ace or maybe a bit of forehand to it from Dan McAlfee, but a bit on the wide serve from Amanda Nissimova still, so 15-love. Amanda Nissimova with a serve, wide serve, burn it. Dan McAlfee backhand block return to the centre, burn it, and then Amanda Nissimova strikes right to right, burn it. Dan McAlfee forehand slice turns to left, and Amanda Nissimova strikes right to right, burn it. Dan McAlfee slice shot return. Amanda Nissimova fair forward strikes a backhand to left with a bit on it, and Dan McAlfee a bit of backhand to ball, but a bit on the shot, struck to the left from Amanda Nissimova, so 30-love. Wide serve from Amanda Nissimova, building it. Dan McAlfee returns to Amanda Nissimova out the net with a backhand to the left, and then Dan McAlfee returns to Amanda Nissimova net with a forehand volley to the right out, so 30-15. So Amanda Nissimova with a serve centre to wide with a bit on it, and Dan McAlfee returns. Amanda Nissimova and strikes right to left, bit on it. Dan McAlfee returns, and Amanda Nissimova fair forward strikes right to left, bit on it, and Dan McAlfee backhand turns to right, bit on it. Then Amanda Nissimova shot centre, bit on it, and Dan McAlfee strikes right to left with a bit on it, and then a angled forehand struck to the right from Amanda Nissimova, just out, so 30-all. Amanda Nissimova with a White building it down McGalphy, block turn, and Amanda Nismova further forward, strikes front to left building down McGalphy turns and Amanda Nismova at net with a backhand drop volley to the right, and it's a winner. So 40-30. Amanda Nismova with a central serve building and then down McGalphy, a forehand return out after building a central serve from Amanda Nismova. So 1-1 on serve at the start of the third and final set of this one. Down McGalphy serving. Down McGalphy with a serve just out, so second serve for Down McGalphy on this point. Down McGalphy with a serve centre to wide, and then Amanda Nismova strikes for return built on it, and then Down McGalphy with forehand, and then backhand to backhand, and then Amanda Nismova strikes a forehand to the right with a bit on it, and Down McGalphy a forehand shot return just at its net after Amanda Nismova struck a forehand to the right with a bit on it. So love 15. So Down McGalphy serve, Amanda Nismova turns and Down McGalphy forehand to right built, and Amanda Nismova backhand, and then forehand to forehand, Amanda Nismova forehand to right built, and Down McGalphy forehand to the right built it, and then Amanda Nismova with a backhand slice return just hits the net after a bit on the forehand, struck to the right from Down McGalphy. So 15-all. Down McGalphy with a central serve, just hits the net. So second serve for Down McGalphy on this point. Down McGalphy with a serve to the centre of the box. Amanda Nismova strikes a backhand return to right built, and Down McGalphy forehand, and Amanda Nismova strikes a backhand to right built, and Down McGalphy turns, and Amanda Nismova forehand slice to right built, and Down McGalphy forehand to the right, and Amanda Nismova backhand to left built, and Down McGalphy backhand to the right, and then Amanda Nismova strikes a backhand to left built, and Down McGalphy returns, and then Amanda Nismova strikes a forehand to right built, and Down McGalphy backhand slice return to centre built, and Amanda Nismova strikes a forehand to right built, and Down McGalphy forehand return, and then Amanda Nismova with a forehand drop shot to the left just hits the net. So 30-15. Down McGalphy with a serve. Down McGalphy with a central serve just out. So second serve for Down McGalphy on this point. Down McGalphy with a serve to the centre of the box just out. So 30-all. Down McGalphy with a serve to the centre just out. So second serve for Down McGalphy on this point. Down McGalphy with a centre to wide serve, and Amanda Nismova strikes forehand to right built, and Down McGalphy with a shot to the right just out after a bit on the forehand return struck from Amanda Nismova. So 30-40 and break point for Amanda Nismova in this third and final set. So Dalmagalfi with a serve to the centre, hits top of the net a bit. So another serve or two or so for Dalmagalfi on this point. Dalmagalfi with a serve to the centre of the box just at its net. So this is second serve for Dalmagalfi on this point. Dalmagalfi with a serve to the centre and then Amandinissimo strikes right return centre building. Dalmagalfi shots right and Amandinissimo strikes an angle backhand left building. Dalmagalfi returns. Then Amandinissimo strikes a forehand to the left with a bit on it and it's a winner. So Amandinissimo with the break in this third and final set. So Amandinissimo serving with the break in the third and final set of this one. Amandinissimo just won a point, 15-love. Amandinissimo with a serve to the centre, just out. So second serve for Amandinissimo on this point. Amandinissimo with a serve to the centre, just out. So 15-all. So Amandinissimo with a serve to the centre, building it. Dalmagalfi turns to Amandinissimo, third forward strikes right to right, building. Dalmagalfi with a backhand block return, just out after a forehand struck to the right, a bit on it, further forward from Amandinissimo. So 30-15. Amandinissimo with a wide serve, just out. So second serve for Amandinissimo on this point. Amandinissimo with a central box there, building it, and then Dalmagalfi backhand turns left, building it, and Amandinissimo backhand struck to the left. And it's in, and it's a winner, so 40-15. Amandinissimo with a central serve with a bit on it, just out. So second serve for Amandinissimo on this point. Amanda Anisimova with a wide serve. Bennett down McGalfy returns, and Amanda Anisimova forehand to right. Bennett down McGalfy returns centre. Bennett and backhand. Amanda Anisimova to left. Bennett down McGalfy returns and backhand to a bit on it. But down McGalfy's backhand to the right is just out. So Amanda Anisimova holds serve to maintain the break in this third and final set. So down McGalfy serving. Down McGalfy with a serve. Amanda Anisimova backhand turns left Bennett, and down McGalfy forehand to right of it. And then Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand to the right, just out. So 15 love. So point playing, and down McGalfy just won the point, so 30 love. Well, point just played. Down McGalfy with a backhand drop shot to the right with a bit on it and a winner with it. Backhand drop shot winner from down McGalfy, so 30 love. Down McGalfy with a serve just hits the net, so second serve for down McGalfy on this point. And down McGalfy with a centre to wide serve, and Amanda Anisimova strikes a forehand return to the right with a bit on it, and it's a winner. So that's a forehand return winner ace, so 30-15. Down McGalfy just won a point, so 40-15. Down McGalfy. Down McGalfy with a central serve just out, so second serve for down McGalfy on this point. Down McGalfy with a central serve, Bennett, Amanda Anisimova backhand return, and down McGalfy forehand to left, and Amanda Anisimova backhand send, down McGalfy forehand to left, and then Amanda Anisimova backhand to left, just hits the net. So down McGalfy holds that service game, but it's Amanda Anisimova with the break in this third and final set of this one. So Martin Fuchsowitz, Gael Monfils. A match starting from 2 sets all on this schedule of play in the third and final set of that one. So just amount of this fifth and final set of this one, fifth and final set of this one. Martin Fuchsowitz, Gael Monfils. Gael Monfils serving Martin Fuchsowitz with the break in the fifth and final set of this one. Point playing, Gael Monfils forehand to the right, just out. So 15-40 and 2 break points for Martin Fuchsowitz for maybe potentially 2 breaks in this fifth and final set. So Gael Monfils just won a point, so 30-40. Break point Martin Fuchsowitz. Fifth and final set of this one. Martin Fuchsowitz with the breaker serve in this fifth and final set. Gael Monfils. Gael Monfils with a serve out, so second serve for Gael Monfils on this point. Gael Monfils with a serve. Martin Fuchsowitz strikes right return bit on it. Gael Monfils strikes right to left bit on it. Martin Fuchsowitz right to right bit on it. Gael Monfils strikes a shot to the right bit on it. Martin Fuchsowitz returns, but then further forward, Gael Monfils strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner to save break point. So due. So still in this Gael Monfils service game. Gael Monfils with a serve out, so second serve Gael Monfils on this point. Gael Monfils with a central box serve. Martin Fuchsowitz forehand return to right bit on it. Gael Monfils forehand to right. Martin Fuchsowitz backhand to right bit on it and forehand to forehand. And then Gael Monfils forehand return and Martin Fuchsowitz forehand to the centre bit on it. Gael Monfils strikes forehand to left bit on it. Martin Fuchsowitz returns and Gael Monfils strikes forehand to centre bit on it. Martin Fuchsowitz returns to centre and then Gael Monfils strikes a forehand to the right with a bit on it. And it's a winner, so add point for Gael Monfils to potentially hold this service game then. Gael Monfils. Gael Monfils with a wide serve. Gael Monfils with a wide serve, building Martin Fuchsowitz backhand block return, and Gael Monfils and strikes a forehand to left with a bit on it, and it's a winner to hold that service game. Martin Fuchsowitz serving the next game in this one with a break in this fifth and final set. So Marton Fuchsovich serving with a break in this fifth and final set. And just 1 point, so 15 love. Marton Fuchsovich with a central serve, Bellnick, Gelmon Feast, 1 block return centre, Bellnick, but then Marton Fuchsovich strikes right to left, Bellnick, Gelmon Feast returns shot centre, then Marton Fuchsovich right to right, Bellnick, Gelmon Feast returns, then Marton Fuchsovich strikes right to left, Bellnick, Gelmon Feast turns, then Marton Fuchsovich strikes a backhand to the right, but just out. So 15 all. Marton Fuchsovich with a central of box serve, just hits the net. So second serve for Marton Fuchsovich on this point. Marton Fuchsovich with a central serve, Gelmon Feast backhand turn. Marton Fuchsovich strikes forehand to right Bellnick. Gelmon Feast then strikes a backhand to right Bellnick. Marton Fuchsovich returns with a forehand, but then Gelmon Feast strikes a forehand to the left with a bit on it, and a winner with that. So 15-30. So Marton Fuchsovich with a serve, Gelmon Feast with a return just out. So 30 all. After a bit on the serve from Marton Fuchsovich. So Marton Fuchsovich with a central serve, Gelmon Feast back up 10. Marton Fuchsovich full strikes one step out, invented it, and Gelmon Feast with a backhand return to the right, just out. So 40-30, and a point for Marton Fuchsovich to potentially hold this service game and maintain the break in this fifth and final set. Marton Fuchsovich with a serve, centre wide, Bellnick, Gelmon Feast turns, and Marton Fuchsovich serve full strikes one step, Bellnick, Gelmon Feast turns, and Marton Fuchsovich with quite the volley, and Gelmon Feast turns, then Marton Fuchsovich with an extra shot on the net with a backhand volley to the centre, and it's a winner to hold that service game and maintain the break in this fifth and final set. So Gelmon Feast serving. Gelmon Feast with a central serve, Bellnick, Marton Fuchsovich spot return. Gelmon Feast then strikes a forehand angled shot to left, and it's a winner. So 15 love. Gelmon Feast for wide serve, Bellnick, Marton Fuchsovich spot return. Gelmon Feast for full strikes one to right, Bellnick into net. And Marton Fuchsovich returns, but then Gelmon Feast at the net with a volley shot to the left, and it's a winner. So 30 love. So Gelmon Feast with a serve, Bellnick, Marton Fuchsovich returns, and Gelmon Feast strikes a forehand to the right with a bit on it, and it's a winner. So 40 love. Amanda Nisimova, Dalma Galfi match. Amanda Nisimova with 2 breaks in the third and final set of that one. As in this one, a point playing, and Marton Fuchsovich just won the point, so 40-15. So Gail Monfils with a wide serve, Burnett. Martin Fuchs fits for one return, and Gail Monfils to the net with a forehand volley to the left, and it's a winner to hold that service game. So 5-4, Martin Fuchsovitz with a break in this fifth and final set, and serving the next game in this one, Martin Fuchsovitz. Amanda Nisimova's match for Dalma Galfi. Amanda Nisimova serving with a double break in that one, in the third and final set of that one. So Martin Fuchsovitz in this one with a break in the fifth and final set and serving the next game. Martin Fuchsovitz with a wide serve, Burnett. Gail Monfils for one return, and Martin Fuchsovitz fair forward with a forehand drop shot to the right, and it's a winner. So 15-love. Martin Fuchsovitz with a central serve, Burnett. Gail Monfils with return. Martin Fuchsovitz further forward, strikes a forehand to left, but just out. So 15-all. Martin Fuchsovitz with a wide serve, Gail Monfils with a return, and Martin Fuchsovitz fair forward, strikes one to right, bit on it, and Gail Monfils will return out after a bit on the forehand, struck to the right, further forward from Martin Fuchsovitz. So 30-15. Martin Fuchsovitz with a serve, wide serve, Burnett. Gail Monfils back on turn. Martin Fuchsovitz forehand bit on it, and then to the net. And Gail Monfils for forehand return out after a bit on the forehand further forward from Martin Fuchsovitz. 40-15, and 2 match points for Martin Fuchsovitz to potentially win this competitive 5-set match. Potentially started this schedule of play, this match at 2 sets all. Martin Fuchsovitz with a central serve, just hits the net. So second serve for Martin Fuchsovitz on this point. Martin Fuchsovitz with a wide serve, Burnett. Gail Monfils strikes one return centre Burnett. Martin Fuchsovitz stands. Gail Monfils and strikes a forehand to left for a bit on it. And then Martin Fuchsovitz stands, and Gail Monfils with forehand to right, a bit on it. And then Martin Fuchsovitz returns, and then Gail Monfils at the net with a forehand volley shot at the net, and it's a winner. So 40-30. So Martin Fuchsovitz with a central serve, Burnett. Gail Monfils one block turn. Martin Fuchsovitz third forward net with a forehand struck to the right, Burnett. Gail Monfils turns, but then Martin Fuchsovitz at the net with a backhand drop volley to left, and it's a winner. Game, set and match. Martin Fuchsovitz, and Martin Fuchsovitz wins this 5-set match by 3-2, 6-4, 1-6, 4-6, 7-6, 6-4. So Amanda Anisimova, Dalma Galfi, the third and final set of this one. Amanda Anisimova a break in the third and final set. Dalma Galfi serving. Point play. Amanda Anisimova strikes front to right bit on it. And Dalma Galfi returns a shot to the left, just out after a bit on the forehand struck for Amanda Anisimova. So 15-30. So Dalma Galfi with a serve just hits the net. So second serve Dalma Galfi on this point. Dalma Galfi with a central serve on it. Amanda Anisimova foreign return on it. And Dalma Galfi turns and fair forward. Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand bit on it to left. Dalma Galfi bit of forehand to ball. But Amanda Anisimova struck a backhand to left with a bit on it further forward. And it's 15-40 and 2 match points for Amanda Anisimova. Dalma Galfi with a serve, wide serve just out. So second serve Dalma Galfi on this point. Dalma Galfi with a serve to the centre. Amanda Anisimova backhand return, backhand to backhand. And then backhand Amanda Anisimova a bit on it. Dalma Galfi forehand to left. Amanda Anisimova strikes backhand to right bit on it. Dalma Galfi backhand turn centre. Amanda Anisimova strikes a backhand a bit on it to the left. And then Dalma Galfi a forehand return to the left. Just out. Game, set and match. Amanda Anisimova. And Amanda Anisimova has won this competitive 3-set match by 2 sets to 1 v Dalma Galfi. 6-3, 5-7, 6-3.